Welcome or welcome back on WatchAdvisor on YouTube. It's Alexander speaking, your host. I'm at ROLEX headquarters in Geneva today, and I do have the pleasure to film and touch and get a touch and feel of the new Submariner watches. And this is what you are going to discover with me. I will show you the watches on my wrists, how they look like. I will show you the Glidelock system to adjust the length of the bracelet. I will give you some technical information about the white gold version and so on. So first, primarily the video will show the watches on my wrist. I'm not doing any technical detailed review. This time I preferred to show the watches on your wrist so you can discover them and figure out how they look like when you probably once will wear them, get them, buy them. I had the pleasure to almost film all of them. Some were not available, not in the press selection, the full gold version, but this is not a big issue. We have the non-date version, we have the green bezel, we have the blue bezel, blue dial, the steel and gold version, and of course we do have the white gold version with the blue ceramic bezel. So you ready? Then let's go and discover them on my wrist.
Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
At a glance, some of the new Submariner. From left to right, you have the new one, the new Submariner without date, with that new generation movement 30 to 30 accuracy, -2 + 2 seconds per day. That's almost like a quartz movement, and it is not a quartz movement. 41 millimeters. Then you have steel with the green ceramic bezel. Then you have the beautiful one in steel and gold, and with a blue dial. And last version on the right side is the one in white gold with a black dial and the blue ceramic bezel. And there the sun comes out. This is what I've been waiting for, so I can do better shots. I'm going to change a little bit on the camera. And there you go. The colors now should be perfect, and you should see everything in the way I wanted it. Thank you very much to the sun to come out again, to be so kind. So the prices, for those interested, 7,700 Swiss francs, including the Swiss VAT for the sub without the date, 9,100 Swiss francs for the one with the green ceramic bezel, 13,600 Swiss francs. The steel and gold version with the blue dial, the blue ceramic bezel, the inner side of the bracelet. So it's steel and gold, you have both. And the white gold is 37,800 Swiss francs. So it's a completely white gold watch, white gold bracelet, of course, and blue ceramic bezel and black dial. So now, next thing I'll go to do is to put them on my wrist and film them so you can see them. So on my wrist now, the version without the date in steel, 41 millimeters, with those now pretty slim lugs, as you can see clearly. And yeah, I have to say, at first impression, this is a watch that really fits perfectly. No doubt. I very much, due to the architecture of that new case, have the impression, even though also they are using the new 30 to 30 movement, the watch is not really much slimmer. It's only some millimeters. I learned it looks very slim and very elegant on the wrist. Look, that's really fantastic. And that's a watch, honestly, you know, you can keep that for always. It's a watch you wear, you could wear, you can give to your children, then they can give it to their children and so on. Something like wearable for generations, perfectly looking, not heavy. Look, slim, looks really as you expected. Once again, I will then also have a quick look at the bracelet in details. Voila, steel, no date, 41 millimeters, the new ROLEX Submariner. Very much discussed already before Rolex presented its novelties is the one with the green bezel. Some call it Kermit because there was one before. Now it is a ceramic bezel, and this one is going to replace the so-called Hulk. I am not a big fan of those nicknames. I would just call it a nice submariner with a green ceramic bezel. All these nicknames are not my cup of coffee, but okay, that's the choice of those who are communicating and writing about the watches, and you who are repeating what they are saying. So let's call it a nice submariner if you are into green. The contrast of black and green, that's a perfect watch, I would say. Has the Glidelock system, of course. I will show this so you can readjust the length of the bracelet easily. And if you're wondering why the minute second hand is not moving on the dial, this is because Rolex, for the presentation, for the press presentations, only has watches with no movement in it. The ones with movements are in production. They are being manufactured for you out there. So they told me if I would like to film one functioning, they would have to take one out of production, and they prefer to have it in the production so you can buy it. And I would say that makes sense. So everyone, I think, will be okay with it, and no one will doubt that there are movements in there when you buy them. So they will tick and work. They are all certified as superlative chronometers, of course, -2 + 2 seconds. The entire watch is tested here in the Rolex building in a procedure, and you get the very best you can buy in terms of watches. So this is the so-called Rolesor. We have a combination of gold and steel. So the inner part of the bracelet is made out of gold, and the bezel is gold, the crown is gold, but the rest is Oystersteel. A nice version. I know that the combination of gold and steel is now getting more and more popular. And so if you are keen to wear a watch that it is a little bit more than just steel, this is an option. Anyhow, I very much here, very much, and you know that because I'm into the blue. I am a big fan of blue. I like the blue dial here. Look, isn't this dial? I try to move the camera to show you the soleil effect. This effect that the dial is brushed in a way that it is mirroring the light when it falls on it in a beautiful way. Of course, date indication, and of course, a wonderful, absolutely color-wise matching blue inlay in the bezel. Very nice one. Looks good. I will zoom in to the Rolex crown on the clasp. Yep, the folding clasp. There you go. Look, now we have it. This is the effect I wanted to show you, and this is beautiful. It's a nice one, the blue, very nice. This is the white gold version, and this is pretty heavy. An option, white gold is always an option together with platinum. That's always a good option to have a little bit more value on your wrist if you want. And you all can imagine that there are some mechanical forces that would, on a long-term base, probably harm some of the pins and their tubes. So what Rolex did the first time, it's not new at Rolex, but it is the first time applied on a Submariner. The pins holding together the links of the bracelet are in ceramic tubes. This makes them extremely flexible, and in terms of longevity, of course, is a precaution taken by the brand to ensure that with the heaviness, and when you shake around the watch, I am not a micromechanical engineer, but some of you maybe are, and you can imagine what kind of forces might be applied on those tiny pins. So they are in ceramic. This really helps. So showing you the sub without the date from the side, you see that's a very elegant, I would even say a very elegant watch. It's no longer that typical bulky diver we are used to see. So if one is interested wearing this on a daily basis, I would highly recommend doing this, because this is not only an elegant watch, but also a watch that will go through almost everything you're trying to do with it. waterproof. Yeah, no, you will never have any problems with it. And in anything you are going to do. And also one nice thing, and it's not easy to show this here under this filming conditions, is the Glidelock system of the watch. You have the possibility to open up in the clasp. You can hear the click if you open it up, and then you can see, let me show you. Yeah, there we go. Now I have it in the focus, and you can see you have all this length of the clasp. Let me focus it. You see here, this is all the length you have to readjust it. That's super practical. That's really amazing. So you can really make adjustments, easy adjustments, and you just need to push on, and that's all. There's no tooling necessary, no engineering studies. You don't have to be a rocket science. You just open it up and you push, and you can, it's Glidelock, nomen est omen, you glide and lock it. Glide and lock. So if you need to do some adjustments, easily done, either hot, cold, or if you are really wearing the watch when you go diving and you want to use it. So that's perfect. Congratulations. And then you see the quality of the folding clasp. That's really superb. There's nothing to doubt here. That's really incredible, superb quality done by Rolex. And also the bracelet, the integration, the fully integration now here. We can see this, and this is something I only show with one model. It is also it's done with all the other executions, and I mentioned before that one is missing. That was the one with they did. Of course, there are more. There's a full gold version and so on. So this is the ones I get to see here for the press, and the full range of the new Submariners can be explored on the website, of course, with all executions and dials. So here we go, and the Bezel, unidirectional Bezel. Let me quickly run through and record the sound of it. Yes, there we go. So also to quickly show you on the steel and gold version, of course, the Glidelock system is also there. We focus in there once again, and you see from the back that you can open it, and the Glidelock is also part of every of the watches, not only, of course, of the Sub without date. All the watches do have this fantastic Glidelock system, and to close it, and then you see here, steel and gold. Also here, steel and gold applied on the security of the clasp, and then you close it. Click, and you have that security coming on top, and that's how it looks like. The blue, beautiful blue dial, gorgeous blue dial, I have to say. Wow, the sun is out. Look, oh, finally the sun. Look how beautiful this blue comes out. Ooh la la, there we go. Nice, look, oh, sun. Last shot for this presentation with the Submariner here from the headquarters in Geneva, Rolex. Thanks for watching this video about the Submariner, and yeah, comments are welcome as always, and let me know what you think about them. And yeah, if you have questions, either go and check on the Rolex website or ask me and I'll try to find out for you. Thanks for watching.